Hello everyone, my name is Brittany Alvarez and I'm here to introduce someone to you that I find very interesting. Has anyone ever told you that you couldn't do something and you turned around and proved them wrong? Well, Elizabeth Blackwell did just that by becoming the very first woman to receive a medical degree, paving the way for women in the medical field all over the world. I have done a lot of research on Miss Blackwell because I do find her very interesting for a few different reasons. We will discuss those reasons, which include being the first woman to be accepted into medical school, one of the first women to open her own medical practice, and opening a medical school for women. Now that you know what we're going to be talking about, let's start with her medical school career. Elizabeth Blackwell was the first woman to be accepted into medical school, which was a very big deal for this time period. It was not an easy process for her. She had applied to over 30 colleges and received rejection letter after rejection letter. Finally, in 1847, according to famousscientist.org, she received an acceptance letter from Geneva Medical School. Funny story, they actually sent the acceptance letter as a joke. They didn't think that it was possible a woman could actually be applying to their school. So they sent the acceptance letter thinking, oh, it's just a joke. She's not going to come to school. Well, funny, she showed up and everyone was shocked and nobody could believe this was actually happening. But she actually thrived in school and she proved everyone wrong. According to womenshistory.org, professors forced her to sit separately at lectures and often excluded her from labs. She didn't let that stop her, though. She actually faced a lot of discrimination. People around town had cast her out. She was defying what everyone deemed normal gender roles, and so no one wanted anything to do with her. After graduating top in her class, she went on to open her own practice. Before she opened her own practice, she had looked for jobs everywhere, but nobody would hire a woman. She decided that enough was enough, and she opened the New York Infirmary for Indigent Women and Children in 1857. She actually opened it with her sister Emily Blackwell and one of her colleagues, Dr. Marie Zakruska. Starting out, things were a little bit slow. I don't think that people felt very comfortable seeing a woman doctor because it was just unheard of in this time. But she actually started giving public lectures and, getting some public opinions out there. And she started gaining clientele and becoming more popular. In 1861, the Civil War actually broke out, which caused things to become extremely hectic. She started training nurses to work on the Union side to help with, wounded soldiers and everything. Biography.com states that the New York Infirmary actually lasted more than a century. After training nurses for the Civil War, she decided to do something more. She was inspired after being able to help people learn part of the medical field. In 1868, she turned part of the New York Infirmary into a medical school for women. It had about 15 students and 9 teachers, and 2 of the teachers actually were Elizabeth Blackwell herself and her sister Emily. One of the things that Elizabeth found was very, very important was hygiene. She actually helped establish the U.S. Sanitary Commission in 1861, according to biography.com. Hygiene is something that she found important, so that's what she decided she was going to teach about. And her sister, Emily, decided that she was going to teach obstetrics and diseases of women. The college actually stayed in practice until about 1899, when another competing college started accepting women as well. In summary, Elizabeth Blackwell defied all odds that were sent against her. She went to college when everyone told her it would never happen. She graduated top in her class and moved on to open her own practice. And if that weren't enough, she opened her own medical school to help women be able to get medical degrees and not have to face the hardships that she did. She took every obstacle that life threw her way and she turned it into something amazing. We have to thank Miss Blackwell, and by we, I mean women all over in the medical field and people that are training to be in the medical field. We have her to thank for paving the way for us, and that's one of the reasons that I find her absolutely interesting. And I'll leave you with a quote from her. And she said, "The avenues by which all may enter into the profession are now so much more widely thrown open that there is little difficulty in the way of any man or woman who may wish to acquire a legal right to practice medicine."